Okay, sometimes you have to find the equation of a line that goes through 2 points in slope-intercept form. So here we're trying to find one that goes through negative 6, 5 and negative 3, 3. So the first thing we need to do, I'm going to write the generic equation in slope-intercept form. And first we're going to find the slope of a line, which is the change in y over change in x. So rise over run is the slope. So we are subtracting our y's, which is 5 minus negative 3, becomes 5 plus 3. And now we're going to subtract our x's, which is negative 6 minus negative 3, which becomes negative 6 plus 3. We find out that our slope is 8 over negative 3, but always keep your negative with your numerator. So now we're going to write our equation with the slope in, and we're going to try to find our y-intercept. So we're going to pick the easier points out of the 2 points that were given. I think the negative 3 is an easier point to work with. So our y is negative 3, and our x is negative 3. And now we solve for b. We figure out what b is. So now we're going to take the next step. We're going to multiply the negative 8 over 3 times negative 3 over 1, and we get 24 thirds. And now 24 thirds simplifies to 8. And now we subtract 8 on both sides. We find out that our b is negative 11. And now we can rewrite our equation. Always remember that just the slope and the y-intercept defines the line. So we're going to write the equation with the y-intercept, in the slope and the y-intercept. Leave y as y and x as x, because this line is going to go through all the y's and x's. It's going to go through infinity. So y is equal to negative 8 thirds, x minus 11 is the solution. If I graph it, my y-intercept is negative 11. It's going to be a negative slope, so it's going to go from the upper right down to the lower left. It's going to pass through negative 11 on the y-axis. It's going to go down 8, right 3, rise over run. In this case, it's down right. Okay, sometimes we're also given 1 point in a slope. So when we do this, we have to solve for b again. So put in negative 2 for your y. That's the y in that point. We're putting in the slope, which is 1/2, and then put the 2 in for x. And we know that our denominator with the 2 is 1. So we get 2 halves. We're just going to eventually simplifying. So 2 halves is 1. Okay, so subtract 1 and we find out that b is negative 3. So finally we can rewrite our equation to be y is equal to 1/2 x minus 3. And that's it. And if we graph it, negative 3 is our y-intercept. It goes up 1 over 2. And our line's going to look something like that.